Yes, how you doing? This is Dr. Chris Lemmon, and this is the talk that's associated with the September blog. I'm doing it a little early, but it'll be posted with the blog on the website, which is wizardscatch.com. So we've kind of put a plan together this year. We're looking at what we can do with this evolutionary mandate. Remember, evolutionary mandate's a product of vision, so all the pieces just get divided into more. So it looks more complex. It just breaks the pieces up quite a bit. It gives us more to deal with. I think when we were back in the old days, I don't remember, but back in the old days when we were cavemen and we were just out looking for things, we really needed a really wide range all the time. We didn't need to know what the color of the eyes of the lion was. We just need to know there was a lion out there that could eat us. We really just didn't need details. We expanded, right? So now it's going the other way. Now we're moving into more and more details. So when they say we're making discoveries, it's because of the fact that we divided those ranges into pieces and more pieces and more pieces. So that's what we're looking at. Our plan this year was to start to work with range and start to see what we could do about the chaos that we're in. So let's see if I can explain a little bit. In a phenomena system, that's a system where imagination exists, right? Imagination doesn't produce anything but ideas, right? So then you have to prove them out or work with them. So the world of ideas is a world of potential. The ranges are unlimited. Right? Why would there be a limitation? There cannot be a limitation or we wouldn't be able to imagine something. There's no limitation to imagination. Practicality, yes. Practicality is part of the logical system. Imagination is part of the creative system. So here we are imagining things, putting all these crazy things, and some of them work and some of them don't. That's what the game is all about, right? As the pieces break down, we're going to imagine things, but the pieces will just be smaller. There'll be more depth into it. We have been doing this for a long time, right? So in the 1700s, we thought we knew everything, right? And there was philosophers that said we figured out all the information. By 1850, it was just kind of rerunning. But in 1950, all of a sudden, we hit this technological change. From 1950 to 2050, discovery is going to be amazing. Wait till you see 2050 to, you see, it's just going to keep going as the pieces get smaller. We get to zoom in and look at those things and have conversations about them. And that's what range is all about. All right. So here's the catch-22. As this starts to change, we kind of secure into our range and think we don't want to change what we believe to be true. That's just scary. All possibility, all ideas mean you can't believe something to be true. All doesn't mean selective. All means all, right? So it needs to expand. The fun part about ranges is they don't expand just in one direction. They expand equally in both directions. As you get more and more knowledge, you have more diversity in that knowledge. Yeah, there's people with specialized fields, but if you look at people when they get up an IQ of a certain height, they become very creative and innovative. That's because across they can bridge gaps on fields. As they get really, really good at one idea, pretty soon they can apply all that skill set to several ideas. And so that's why you see that really smart people have a diversity of different ranges they're into. Because we have such a narrow piece of consciousness, that means that we broke all our ranges into bite-sized pieces, chunk sizes, what we call them. So literally we have to be looking at the right chunk. Once again, if I'm driving down the road, I'm paying attention to the road. If something catches my distraction, I just switch range. At that point, I'm no longer in the driving down the road range. I'm over here being the spectator range. And hopefully I can get back here before I drive over top of something or have to deal with a crisis. Statistically, we don't do this very well, but we're learning. But once again, remember, we looked at statistics for a long period of time, and we humans have actually developed and changing. Right now, it doesn't look very much like that because it's kind of chaotic and confusing. And that's because as that range splits, like a sinking ship, we want to hang onto the side, like that would make a difference. right? It's just going to go down. So let it all fall apart. We're just going to play with our skill sets that we have in a logical world, which is attention and questions and decisions. We're going to implement all those in some procedures. Now, what really helps with the range when you're attending to range, what helps with range changes is movement. I said driving down the road and I see something on the side. How did I see it? It moved. There was something going on over there, right? It caught my attention. Do you understand? Movement helps us switch ranges. If we sit there and watch TV all day long, 24 hours a day, forever, the only movement is a flicker on TV. We never walk away from it. The same with reading a book. I'm reading a book and it takes a lot to disturb me. I'm just like, write it all off. It's like, my wife says, you didn't hear me? I'm going, no, I guess I didn't hear you. I was reading. Like, did reading stop my ears from working? No, not really, but I was fully attending to that range that I was in. And so that's the nature of the way we operate. If we're going to be building range, because once again, the ranges are split in two. Now to accomplish what we did, we're going to be in two ranges, back and forth, more range changes, more movement. So we're going to put together a plan to do that. Somewhere between meditations, which is being able to simply attend to a single range and let everything go by, and movement, which is walking, exercise, hiking, whatever sport you're involved in, whatever activity you're involved in. Yes, that allows us to change range, right? No problem whatsoever. Okay, those are the balancing pieces that we come through. Once again, it's not the end all for the game, because the end all for the game is we all die. It is how we play the game. It's how we engage in it, right? There's an experience of being able to acclimate all this stuff to influence things. And that's what our goal is, right? To influence different things. Everything out there, movement, everything else is an influence. So we're trying to collect those influences together and expand this out. Is there a reward in the end? I have no idea. It's not in the manual anywhere, right? So I have no clue, right? If you want to believe that, that's fine. But that's a range that sits somewhere in the imagined. We don't lose the imagined. I'm sure that once we're done with this silly game, we can imagine something else. I don't remember imagining this, but we're all here. So I guess we all got together and imagined this. So who knows what we're going to do next, right? I don't worry about that. Right now, I want to squeeze as much juice out of this lemon as I can get. So I want to be able to get into details and arrange, be able to expand them, be able to diversify them, be able to switch ranges where I need to, be able to access more information. When we zoom in, we get more information, right? Remember that caveman just saw who eat me and who I can eat, right? It's not a whole lot of information in there, but necessary information. And now today we discern and we go into that, and we have all kinds of stories about what we eat and what's healthy and what's not healthy and so on and so forth. I'm not saying all of that is wrong. I'm saying all of that is probably very, very good information. It's being able to zoom in and making better discernments. We're building a better relationship with our body. We're living longer. We're having a healthier lifetime, possibly. The potential is there. Yes, we haven't realized the potential yet, but we haven't really done the range work yet. And evolutionary mandate means it's time to do some work if you're going to survive this thing, right? So surviving the cultural change is the theme that we've had now for 4 or 5 years. All right. So that's just leading into what I've written in September. Start to think a little bit about how implementing ranges would start to work for you. How many ranges can you flash through? If an idea is not here, switch to another idea. Lots of times solutions are somewhere else. Read in history. The great people in life that invented things were looking over here and couldn't find it. They looked over there and they found a solution over there that tied it all together, right? It's just Einstein tried to tie acceleration with gravity and came up with bends in space-time because of the fact of the thoughts that were created in non-Newtonian in geometry is what I'm trying to say. So when we start to move away from Euclid's geometry and going into, I couldn't remember the guy's name, some of the other forms, there was a bunch of them came out that were non-Euclid. And so they were kind of spatial. Euclid worked really good on a flat surface, but when you have curved surface, saddles, round balls, things are different, right? Look at airline flights. You get the drift of it, right? So we've learned that stuff. We've managed to make some shortcuts, implement things, get a better quality of life. So that's what we're aiming for. And that's what we're trying to work into it, if that makes any sense. So this is just, this is a year of launching. We've got to get a plan together so that comes next year in January, we can then just be disciplined and start to work on that plan and make that all work out. All right. So enough of me chatting on and on and on. All right. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, go ahead and email questions to chris@wizardscatch.com. That's WIZARDSCACHE. And this is the Wizards Catch channel on YouTube. So welcome and thank you very much. We'll be talking to you when I get some questions, or at worst next month. Thank you very much.